Hi everyone, it's Heidi Hosking, and I'm here to talk today about why you should find out if your child has more than one food intolerance or allergy. Most people feel like it's only one. There's been like an underlying thing throughout the society that said, oh, it'll probably be gluten, or maybe you've got the dairy allergy intolerance. But I'm here to say that we are all by individual, and the more that we look into it and we are willing to look into it, the more we realize all of us are carrying sensitivities to particular foods. And we might not notice it in big, obvious ways. For us as adults, we might just not feel an affinity to eat a certain food. And so when you start to count that up, you realize most people are sensitive, intolerant, don't feel like eating, at least, more than one food. And so it stands for our children who are much more sensitive again, that they're going to have trouble with even more foods than us and or in bigger ways. So it's really important, if you go off and get your child tested for allergies, that you don't just throw that away and go, oh, there's no more allergies, that's all there is. Or we know that they're anaphylactic to this, this, and this, that's all there is. Because highly likely, that means your child's very sensitive, and it's highly likely that you've also got food intolerances in the mix. And even if you don't have allergies in the house, there's probably highly likely to be food intolerances there as well. And particularly for the children who are carrying star energy, I'll have a link in this video at the bottom for you to do my quiz to find out if your child has star energy. They are the most super duper sensitive children who carry really high vibrational energy. And that means that they will most certainly need to have, quite a few foods removed from their diet. And that makes it the job for us as the mothers to find out what those foods are and respect what that means for the child, particularly for their health, but also for their development and their own personality. So, if the child's having the wrong foods and they're having meltdowns all the time, then obviously we start to put on that, oh, this child, they've always got meltdowns, they're such trouble. That affects their personality as well, when actually it might be the food that we could take out and eliminate quite a lot of that. So it's very important for you to think about, am I prepared to go there? What would happen if I walked away and found out, oh, wow, it's gluten, it's dairy. I also need to get rid of sugar, food additives, and they're not that great with soy, and they're also not great with some nightshades like tomato and capsicum and chili. And that's when we have to start opening our hearts to our children and not go with the old school approach of one meal will suit the whole family. That's not right. We need to break that away and start to go, okay. And that's when we can start to see our children who we feel are fussy are typically eating quite intuitively, which means then that we have to go, oh, maybe they're telling us what foods they can't eat. And that then almost becomes an easier job if we go, okay, I just need to cook different meals rather than have battles every night over this one meal that I've cooked and I put so much effort into, which we all know, and my child just will not agree with eating it. And then they've got, health, development, emotional, physical issues on top of that because they've been having to put these foods down into their bodies. So I highly encourage you to think about it. It's not just children with the star energy that will be sensitive to foods. In fact, they are the most obvious reactions, the children with the star energy. It's the other ones with the heart and the earth energy that might be more subtle. And so then it comes down to maybe going to a kinesiologist to find out what foods do I need to test to be sure that they're actually okay with that. And it's all the common ones like dairy, gluten, corn, particularly if it's not organic, soy, particularly if it's not fermented like tempeh, and of course sugar, food additives, anything that's processed. So all that stuff really does need to go, and that's a big job in itself. I normally say to families, consider that, that's like a year or two job really to do it with ease and grace and just start to wean that away and get your child into it with the most ease and grace possible for the whole family. So please do consider it. It's really important for our children to grow up knowing that they can trust their intuition with their body and what it's telling them not to eat, which will serve them down the line when they can say, no, I trust myself, I can't eat that. You don't need to pay for kinesiology then. They will be able to work it out for themselves. And of course, it serves them for their health. It serves them for their learning and their development, of course. And it serves us as a family to start to see what we could change and what food intolerances we might have that we've always just eaten that food anyway. It helps us all to start to embody that new age energy of let's actually eat for our own body. So that's all for today. Want more for your children, and I'll see you next time. Bye.